Hello Guzzi people, this is Jeff Buick here in Michigan in the United States, and I'm going to try and make a quick video for you today on the technique that I use that I learned from my friend Antonio on how to start these older Guzzi singles. These are both 500 cc's. This is a 1937 GTW and a 1967 Falcone NT. This is the last year of the exposed flywheel Guzzis. All right, they have a little bit of different initial setup for the start, just because of the carburation and the oil system on these. So I'll show both bikes. Hopefully we can get them started pretty easily. First step, get some fuel on with the petcock. A really important step on the older Guzzis that have the inline oil shutoff valve here is get the valve in line with the hose. That means that the oil is able to flow. These older MD carbs have a true choke that would come down and block some of the airflow. Right now it's off. If there's tension on the cable, it's lifting the choke up in the bore, and it's really warm here in Michigan. I'm not even going to use the choke. I also don't mess with the manual spark advance on this. It seems like it doesn't really assist with it, so I'm going to leave it alone. But basically, we've got the fuel on. Just give it a quick tickle. See a little bit of fuel spurt out there, so you know that your fuel is high in the float body there. All right, so it should be ready to try the bounce technique here. Let me see if I can get this set up properly. All right, so on most big singles, there's a lot of effort to often locate the piston in the right part on the compression stroke and then kind of give it a big kick. With the bounce technique, you don't need to use that much force. It's more the getting used to the technique, letting the big flywheel use its inertia to push you through and hopefully get the thing started. It's proof that you don't need that much force. I'm going to wear my old Vans slip-ons here. I've seen guys do this in sandals, so we'll see. All right, so the big thing is just kind of locating where compression is. All right, there, you can see the bounce. Just gonna bounce it a couple of times. Give it a little quick kick through. And you can see that it works really well on this one here. Like I said, I didn't use the choke or my spark advance, so it should be good to go like this. Turn my fuel and petcock back off and see if we can have similar results on the Falcone over here. All right, so the Falcone, this one, the later NTs actually used a VHB carburetor. I believe the original was a 27 millimeter. This is actually a 29 millimeter off of a Eldorado I had. Rather than a choke on these, the VHB uses an enricher. So when you put tension in the cable, it lifts the enricher off of a jet, basically, that allows more fuel to flow. So rather than a choke that is blocking air on the GTW, this is leaving the airflow alone but adding more fuel into the system for the start. We're gonna need fuel on this, so turn your petcock on. These the newer singles deleted the manual valve, oil valve shutoff, and they actually built it into the oil pump here. So if you have this larger protruding piece here, that means that you've got kind of an automatic oil shut off. So there's nothing to mess with there. The VHBs didn't have a fuel tickler. You can tickle your car, but it doesn't really react. All right, so let's see if we have similar luck. This one sometimes is almost a little bit harder to start than the GTW, but we'll give it a go. Got my somewhat matching color Volvo 240 in the background. I am going to use the enricher slightly on this one, and I'll use the same bounce technique. You might be able to see as I do it, I'll get a little bit of a drift there that I'll have to tend to, but you'll see maybe a little bit of fuel cloud as you bounce back and forth, that I think actually helps with that starting, because it atomizes some of the fuel through the jet and sucks it all in when you're ready to go. So let's see what we can do here. So I'm using the decompression lever just to kind of locate it, because I like to find top dead center when I'm about here on the Kickstarter, or even come up slightly more, just so I have enough area to bounce it and then push it all the way through. So get my bounce started. This one likes to warm up a little bit more, so normally I'd give it a quick ride and then it would idle okay. But hopefully that technique makes a little bit of sense. You're not letting go all the way as you're letting it come back up. You're always keeping a little bit of pressure here, just so it doesn't ratchet. And then as you kind of bounce up, all it takes. Bit of practice and it becomes pretty second nature. Again, it's quite easy to kind of just locate the compression easily using the decompression lever. If you don't have that, you can also use the clutch just to get your foot in the right position. So let's see. If I was up here, you could bring it down a little bit. And do the same thing, bounce, and then kick through. All right, hopefully that makes sense. Still wants to warm up a little bit. Anyway, I just wanted to show you the technique. I think it could be used on all the 500s. I don't know on the 250s if the flywheel gives you the same inertia or not, but give it a shot. Let me know if it does. I'd be curious to see a few of the other projects in here. Some electric start Guzzis, and a couple of race replica projects up there. Montgomery Ward's Benelli 250, and then some Yamaha 500s. The bounce technique does not work on the Yamahas. All right, anyway, feel free to reach out if you have any questions. Good luck.